Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Austria race for the pilot season or league of Greever's league. Guys, lots of practicing against this. Ooh, and it seems like we're gonna have maybe some wet weather. That could make it interesting. They had it in practice, and hardly anybody could stay on the track. In practice this week, we had Bruet, Greever, and D2 fighting it out for top spot. Guys, slowly getting ready. Qualifier will be 18 minutes, and a race will be a 50% race. If you feel like it, please join in. Drop us a chat on the side. Join in on the commentating. Got a few guys that couldn't make it this evening, but all the usuals are here. See, there we have 11 drivers so far at 12-1 to join later, hopefully before qualifying stops. End of qualifying. Got the first guys getting out there. Everybody seems to be opting for the intermediates. Joshua not out for his first lap so far. This is going to make it interesting. As you can see on the mini-map, we've got 3 DRS zones, but those little zigzags tend to make it a bit difficult for some of the drivers, especially the keyboard drivers. Because it's an open league, we've got some guys that can choose as many assists as they want, and then you have the faster guys, Bruet, Greever, D2, Purifier, that are limited on the amount of assists that they're allowed to take. Although some of the guys have tested, and with the assists, they've gotten so used to the assists now that they actually run slower using the assists. So far in the league, number 1 driver for the league, Greever. Number 2 driver, D2A1. Number 3, Purifier. Number 4, Rez. Number 5, Caveman. But probably there's so many tracks left. All that could still change. D2 has been having an amazing. The last 3 tracks was won by D2. Where Greever started off the season very well, but D2 just passed, and now guys are joking that he needs to stay on the grid until the first guy passes him, being lapped, before he's allowed to pull off, and he'll still win the race. So let's see what happens. Anything can happen. One little spin out. We have corner cutting is strict. Damage is full. And no car ghosting, so the guys can hit each other. Time slowly coming in. First time 113.611 by Brut. We've got D2, the 113.718. That's just to start off with. D2, very aggressive driver, but he likes more being chased than doing the chasing. So let's see if Brett or Greever, one of those guys, can stay in front of him. More time, slowly tapping in. Slowest time so far. Caveman with a 116.007. Seems like Joshua did not like his setup, and back in the pits. Did not finish a lap. Purifier yet to leave the pits. We might be joined by another commentator later in the race. Let's hop on board with some of these drivers. See what Pirate is doing. Get his point of view there. Very wet conditions there. Well, drive line drying a bit, but the amount of rain, we'll see. Ooh, very slippery there. Almost crashing out. Let's hop on board with D2. He's not going to let that go. He's going to go all out. Now and then it happens. D2 gets a bit over anxious. Rights of his car. Crashes out. It happens. And as big a friends as these guys are, they're just as competitive. During the game, there's no friends in love and war. Okay. I just figured I made a mistake there. It's all friends in love and war. These guys, although they do not. It's gentleman rules. So you'll see if slower guys get caught up from behind by faster drivers, they will make space. It's just a general understanding between the drivers. These guys are all our friends, and there's no prize money for this league or anything. They're literally racing for the fun of it. D2, as I said earlier, there you can see put on a faster time, 113.302. Guys slowly making adjustments. They're all hoping for a dry track, and now it seems like they're going to get a very wet race. Always keeps it interesting. Some of the guys here are brand new drivers. Some of the guys have raced in previous leagues. Seems like I keep on picking the one that wants to go pit. Although it is qualifying, so there will be a lot of pits, especially in these conditions. A lot of adjustments being made. You can see there it's approximately 0.6 of a second between the first 5 drivers. Ooh. And I pick the pit rod again. Purifier struggling a bit, keep the car on the road there. Ooh, Ari. With the DNF there, crashed out. Some of the guys here like starting on the back of the grid. So, especially in these conditions, that first corner, ooh, cutting there. Especially in these conditions, those first corners, guys tend to bunch up and there's some dive bombing going on, guys driving into each other. I can see Purifier with that kind of driving, racking up those penalties again. Last time it was Caveman that racked up a whole lot of penalties. And Brut is back. Let's hop on board with Brut, see what he does. Oof, car getting very loose there. So this is going to be more a race for the guys that can handle their cars. In these slick conditions, it's going to be a few cars drifting around some corners there. It'll look like one of those rally races. Back in the pits. Let's see if Brett can beat this time. Brett is also one of the newer players. He only started playing the game for this league. So, so in the beginning of just a couple of weeks ago, we still had to assist him in car setup. He didn't even know that. And look how far he's come. And he puts on a 1:13.137. Beat D2's time. Again, D2's going to now come out and push and see if he can beat that time. Those top 3 guys. We've had a race where had a safety car out. Until last 2 laps. I think it was D2 was in front. Unfortunately, crash happened, damaged his front wing, finished 8th. So anything can happen. Ray is putting up a 1:13.628. You can now see the first 6 is in the 113s. There's less than 0.8 of a second difference between the first 6 drivers, and approximately a second between the first 7 drivers. Ari putting on a respectable time of 1:14.546 before he crashed. Fudge seems to be struggling. I know Yaku's probably watching again. Yaku, are you there? And we'll probably have the couple cheering for Bruit also out there. Come on guys, you were very talkative last time. Join in. Up on board with D2 attempting to better their time. Yep. A tad wide there. Let's see what our fearless... Ooh! Brilliant time to hop on with our fearless leader, doing some rally racing there. Maybe somebody should tell him this is not Forza. See if he can catch up to that time. You can see his teammate sitting on number 3. The 2 Red Bulls, 3 and 4. All these cars, the performance on these cars are set to equal, because you can set it to different. Then you have different settings for your Mercs, for those that don't know, for your Mercs in your Red Bull, etc. But we've set it just to keep it fair. We set them to equal performance, so it's all up to your own setup and your driving skill. Let's see what's going on with... Yep, no front wing. He totally took off that front wing. No grip there. No wonder. Purifier coming through, putting on a time 1:13.273. So the top 7 drivers are now in the 1:13s. So if Ari didn't crash out, maybe even Fudge crashed out, could have pushed it to a 1:13. But let's see. Time 2.5 minutes until start of official race. Previous last week we had France. It was on the grid. D2 was first, Biology second, Purifier third, Greever fourth, Bruit fifth. And Bruit was also first 4 weeks ago at Monaco. So some very good drivers. But this week, Brett was doing very well on this track. So it's just his kind of track. We got usually Reyes gets the driver of the day. He's just racking up those extra points. So let's see. Getting ready for the main event to start. And there you have your grids, your starting grid. And those gaps you can see on the side, very small gaps. So it's not always just the fastest driver. We got a new viewer this evening, Jenny Lee Smith. So let's see. Seems to have been dried up a bit there. So we might see some guys coming out on softs instead of the intermediates. So let's see. That would make quite a big difference on those lap times. See if anybody can catch him, because this week Brut was just racking up those the top spot, fastest lap times. Just waiting for everybody's games to load. And even if a driver like D2 has a runaway and he's far out, something had happened. I think it was 5 weeks ago. Safety car. Because everybody needs to stay in their position behind the safety car. So all those huge gaps close up. Difference between that, then you also get your yellow flag. Yellow flag, everybody needs to slow down to 40% of their speed. That's the main difference. So guys love, well, the guys in the back of the grid love the yellow car, because then it gives them that little bit of a chance to catch up. And the yellow car, if it's a bad crash, it's virtual, can stay on sometimes for quite a few laps. Close up all those huge gaps. Nice dry. The track seems to have dried up. See most driving on the red ring tires, which is the softs. Can see a few changes there. Big Fudge taking up 4 positions. Reyes dropping 6. Nice clean corner on the first coil there. So we'll see. 36 laps. They started on softs. I'd go for some. A few might be going for a 2-stop. Seeing that the track is a bit damp. Push hard with those soft tires. They don't last that long. Some tiny gaps there. Let's see how far the gap is open to leader so far. Well, 2 laps, 12 seconds, 13 seconds. Reyes coming back. D2 since start has taken Purifier's spot in second. Brut fighting to keep that lead. D2, very aggressive driver. He's not going to let it go. He gets very quiet at times like this. It's just like he zones out and he races. Some nice fights going on there. You can see Big Fudge catching up to Ari. Ooh, that was close. See if we can cash in. Nope, just won't be able to. Big Fudge just staying on the heels and see if he can cash in. Nope. Ari, ooh, Ari, bit too aggressive there, running wide. Ooh, I think he might get penalized for that. Big Fudge passing him again. That might be Ari giving the position to Big Fudge and taking it back. Oh, and Big Fudge just driving too aggressive there. That's what happens. And Joshua using the opportunity to pass Big Fudge. Let's see what Greever's doing there on Ari's heels. These two personal friends as well, but this is race time. No friends here. Ari is very good at around corners, taking it wide, cutting in. He's Big Fudge, 3 seconds for multiple warnings, probably corner cutting. Only 3 seconds so far. Joshua, Big Fudge and Cooper. Let's see who can rank up. I think the last race it was something like because there was a 5-second in there as well. It was somewhere in the 30 seconds. Cooper is still opting for the mediums. Might be pushing for a longer drive until he needs to pit. Some of the drivers, Greever, D2 as well, they like usually normal conditions going for harder tires, your hards or mediums, and then only pit, say 10 laps before the end, and do that for a set of softs and do that last full push. So let's see. Greever just not able to cash in on those DRS zones. Ari, very good driver as well. And Greever going for that DRS. Let's see if ooh, Ari cuts him. Aggressive driving going on. D2 catching up to Brut in the front. Let's go have a look there. What's happening there? If he can take the #1 spot this early. I think it was 2 weeks ago he had such a lead that he could go in pits and still come out in first place. One of the previous leagues, I've said this before. Um, I think it was like the 5th or 6th track that they were racing in the season, and D2 only then finished his first race. Even the commentator called it. He's like, wow, and D2 actually finishes a race. He was way behind because he drove very carefully, but yeah, very aggressive driver, and he takes that first spot from Bruit. Let's see if he can, like previous weeks, just push out or just run away with it, or is Bruit gonna stay with him? Hop on with Bruit so we can see the full view there. Ari chasing Greever. Greever passed him. Ari also getting a penalty. In practice, Bruit actually had the fastest time, same as earlier, fastest time, but it's not just the fastest driver that wins, it's also the most consistent driver. If a guy races and pushes too hard constantly, he's going to make that mistake that's going to cost him 10 seconds or whatever, and then he loses all that advantage. Bruit taking back first place. Nice fight going on here for pole position. We're on lap 8 of 36. D2, you've got Jenny rooting for you. D2 still managing to just stay on the heels of Bruit. See if he can cash in on those DRSs again. These slow turns cost the guys a lot of time because there's those little adjustments. To see those guys going through that corner side by side. Hop on with. There's the cut. Bruit and Ari. Love those. Very good at those. Practiced it many times. Let's hop on board with some of the other drivers. See Caveman chasing Greever. Greever, again last week, races all the way to the top and then pushes too hard, damages front wing or something, and he's out. Or damages the front wing, loses a lot of time, drops down to like 10th position. But he fought back. So let's see. Bruit managing to slowly open a little bit of a gap there to D2. 0.5 seconds. But yeah. D2 I'm sure is going to close that up. You've got Rez on the back. Passing Joshua. Rez at least seems to be having a better internet this evening. He had some bad lags 2 races ago. Bad desyncs. Biology taking from Caveman. Caveman running a bit wide there. Bruit still slowly opening that gap to D2. Let's look on the that would bring Bruit a lot closer. Contention for the top spot in the rankings for the season. Ooh, and biology runs wide, giving caveman. Oh, that's a very bad desync right there. So let's see if caveman can keep his position now. Nope, biology's back. You will see on the sometimes like that corner we just saw. Once 1 second biology spinning out, the next is back on the track. It's bad. It's these things. It's international servers and so on. So it does happen with this, that sometimes desync. There you can see a little glitch there as well. It's a desync between the drivers and the main server. D2 managing to nice fight going on here between caveman and biology. D2 managing to keep pace with Brood now. See if caveman can catch up to biology again. Fight sets up back on board with D2 with the front for that pole position. This is a lot of concentration. We now 1/3 through the track. Oh, and Brut going in to the pits. D2 is going to try and cash in on that, open that gap, because Brut's going to come back with a vengeance. Brut dropping. Let's see. Quite a big gap between 4 and 5, but Brut goes to 5th. Brut goes to 6th. Gaps were quite small. So let's see. Brut comes back. D2 still needs to pit. So yeah. And the gap's not that big this week. Let's Brut fighting to get back to the front. While these in the middle of these two having their little fight. Everybody on subs. Joshua not opting for the hard tires on this track. Could be a bit of a gamble, but let's see. With hard tires, he can probably finish the race, but will he have enough grip? Because of that, that track is still damp, very slippery. It's a yellow flag. Cars need to slow down. But gone. Big Fudge and Cooper both opting for medium tires. Brut passing his teammate Ari on his way back to number 1. Ooh. Cooper racking up those penalties again. 12 seconds. There you can see the times to leader. Joshua not 1 lap already. Although it is a short... Ooh. Caveman driving a bit dangerously. Almost hitting Ari on that corner. Guys pitting. So Ari and Caveman becoming 3 and 4. Brut back to number 2. Now just under 14 seconds behind D2. D2 yet pit. So A lot of the guys opting for the medium tires now. Maybe trying to push this all the way to the end. Brut slowly closing that gap to D2. Already caught up by a second in about a lap. That's very good driving. Might be that oh, D2 finally doing his pit. D2 opting for the medium tires. If the road's not too slick, they are faster than the on the straights and so on, and last longer. So he might be opting. He might be opting for feeding the drive all the way to the end, because around the corners the soft's still going to beat it. But let's see. We had some drivers. Ooh, Caveman driving too aggressive. D2 back just 6.5 seconds behind Brut with those mediums. Now I don't think Brut will be able to finish with those softs. He might need to pit again. Everybody going for the mediums except for Caveman. Oh, but Caveman is already at 15 laps on those softs. Those softs must be getting pretty slick. Everybody else, Cooper on mediums, 13 laps. There you see Caveman finally going in. Stops. Caveman, last one to do his first pit. Let's see. Up on board with D. Well, Brut is opening that gap again by about a second, almost a second. Yeah, it was 6.5, it's now over 7.5, so they're over a second that Brut is opening the gap. But he needs to compensate for probably having 2 stops, where it looks like D2 is going for a 1-stop race. That's all a gamble, but all depends on driving style. See those gaps between Purifier catching up to Greever, running wide. Let's see if he can catch him. Cash in on that DRS. Nope, not using the DRS. Going for the long one. Still not. Probably wants to be right on his heels before he opens the DRS. Make sure you don't waste it. Greever, very aggressive. Set up a whole rig. He's got a gaming room built himself. Racing chair and everything. Let's see what happens between these two. Purifier now just keeping pace with Greever, not being able to catch up. And Brut continuing to open that gap to D2. Well, you'll need to make up for that stop. Interesting to see when he's going to do that stop. See, everybody's tires pretty new except for Cooper on 15 laps, but it is mediums. So yeah, he should stop, I would say, in 4 laps or so. Cooper should go in for 4 to 8 laps. should go in for a pit. Purifier now losing pace against Greever. Nice gaps opened up there. Brood continuing to fight to open that gap, make space for his pit stop. Not much movement. Let's see what these guys. Fastest lap so far. Brut with the 107. You can see that against the times. Ooh, a little bit of a desync there. Wet times was a 113. There you get, he's already cut 6 seconds of that wet time. And there you can see the penalties. Cooper trying to go for a world record again. See if he can lose a lap or something. Already on 18 seconds. Brut now just continuing with that gap. Purify just not able to catch Greever. Greever now, tires probably warmed up nicely now, so Greever opened up. He's chasing. He wants that pole position. As soon as Brut needs to lap again, D2 and Greever will definitely cash in on that and push as hard as they can to keep it. Greever, well, D2 is good at running away, being chased. Greever again is very good at chasing. He loves that. But now and then he gets that whole thing of monkey see, monkey do. Guy in front of him pushes too hard, runs wide. Greever will do the same. That's all part of the game. He gets so into it. Yellow flag out there. Let's hop on board and see how the lead is doing. Some tiny little adjustments there. Cooper finally going in for his pit stop. That was only 3, so I was up by a lap. I said 4. Red now pushing very hard. Just hope he doesn't lose that concentration. Just for a split second spin off. Damage is on. Rights of a car very easily. Very good to see though that we haven't had any DNFs yet this evening. But wait until those last 5 laps where the guys push for position, for final position. They get a bit anxious and they start accidentally dive bombing each other, etc. Dive bombing, of course, is into a turn. When guy slows down for a turn, the other one just that split second too late, letting go and coming through, hitting the car. Not intentional to hit the other guys. And Brut now in for his pit. Let's see what this does do. We've got D2 in front. 5 and 8. Greever passing him. Greever now on second. Brut does have fastest time, so can he keep that up and push back to pole position? There you can see Brut chasing down Greever. Purifier on Brut's heels. There you can see the fastest laps. This top 4 107s. But Brut's fastest time is almost a second faster than Purifier on number 4. That's huge. And Brut new tires, as soon as they warmed up, push all the way through, no problem. It's only 11 laps to go. Brut slowly closing that gap to Greever. But Greever also slowly closing that gap to D2. But the gap's closing faster between Greever and Brut. Let's see if Brut can cash in on the DRS zone. Now I've got some chicane zone coming on. Brut just patiently waiting. Like Schumacher used to drive, wait for the other guy to make the mistake. DRS zone coming up. Let's see if Brut can cash in on that DRS zone. Closing the gap there to Greever, but just not able to catch. But there is for another DRS zone. Not going to be long. He's going to pass. Yep, there he goes. Passing Greever for second place. Now it's D2's turn. Greever now going to chase down. Stay on Brut. Follow him all the way up. It's going to be a nice final battle for the last 5 laps or so between amongst these three. Only Cooper, I see, is one of the guys that waits until, like I said earlier, some guys like to do that final push. Cooper did that. Gaps unfortunately just too big. Greever staying on Brut. I think Brut already caught up almost a second to D2. 9 laps to go. Greever now has somebody to chase. There you can see his time also got better. See, this guy can keep it up. And the fearless Kaylee Vodkila has joined us. What killer? Come join me in the commentating room. Otkila also recently became a mom again. Congratulations on that one. That gap closing to D2 very fast. On board with Brut. See him chase down D2. I think D2 can feel Brut breathing down his neck on this one. Biology on the purifier there. Just not able to pass. Some nice shuffling of positions going on this evening. Usually it's pretty straightforward. D2 runs away, other guys chasing, but not too much shuffling going on. Tonight there's quite a nice amount of shuffling. See D2's gap, Greever's gap there to Brut's opening up now. Brut, this is his track. Up on board again with Brut. See him chase down D2. These guys, of course, for all walks of life. No professional gamers here. Some salesmen here, some project managers, pilot or two. So, and apparently there's a chef as well. So yeah, got a whole community here. Just finishing lap 30 of 36. D2 can feel Brut nibbling. What is there? Huge gap though opened up between 3 and 4 again. It's always that 1 or 2 spots that is just runs away. It's like top 3 in this one, just running away from the rest of the field. Although the rest of the field do include some good drivers, just how it goes. Maybe not their track, maybe wrong setup chosen, little nudge, damaging wing, little things like that. Ooh! Brut will need to slow down for that one. Definitely. He nudged D2 there. That's going to be up for investigation. Brut nudged D2 off the track and didn't give the position back. So let's see. Greever taking that second place, just behind Brett, and able to keep pace. Let's hop on board with Greever. See what he's doing. Greever just not able to cash in on that DRS zone. Let's see if there's any damage to Brett's car. Don't see any damage from that nudge. Greever is trying to catch up, seeing his chance to get that pole position. Keeping pace, just not able to catch it. Ooh, Purifier, new fastest time, 106.843. You can see he closed that huge gap that he used to have. Is there damage to D2's got? There's some front wing damage. You can see the right side of the front wing for D2. Unfortunate. We'll have to have a talk to. Ooh, new fastest time, a 106.629 from Big Fudge in 7th place. See that last 5 laps, most interesting. Greever closing that gap to Brewitt. And he passes to see if he's able to keep the position. He is. Ooh, nudging Brewitt there. Last 2 laps. D2 unfortunately losing a lot of time now with that front wing damage. Jenny saying that's not on what Brett did. We'll see. It's up for investigation. Agreed. So let's see what's decided afterwards. Might get a grid penalty or something. You see them lapping Joshua there. Busy with their last lap. See if Greever is able to catch up to Brett. And that's it. No more DRSs basically left for Greever to use. Going through the last couple of corners there. Through the last corner. Brett takes it. Greever. Greever takes it. Probably a penalty that I missed. So Greever is number 1. Brett number 2. D2 number 3 after that nudge. That's incident there. So let's see. Purifier through on 4th. Biology will be 5th. Let's get some drivers in here.
First push, hoor.
Okay.
Hallo.
Hello.
But anyway,
Top 3 drivers.
Hallo.
it was a good race, by the way.
Very, very good race.
That first 20 laps
Oh.
was fucking amazing with me and you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, yes.
Awesome racing.
Oh, driver of the day, Greever. So, pole position and driver of the day for Greever.
Well done, Grieve.
Thank you, thank you. Good
Who
push,
had,
guys. Good
who had
push.
fastest lap? I think it was Big Fudge last.
Purifier. No, it was Fudge, yes.
Yeah,
It was
Wow.
Big
so
Fudge.
that. Yeah. Purifier got it and then Big Fudge got it. Let's get Big Fudge in here as well.
Here it comes.
So
Yeah,
that
guys,
is
that
the
was fun.
final.
Good, thanks.
And we have Big Fudge with fastest lap.
Yeah.
So guys, in general, how was the race?
Oh,
That
it was
was
a good race.
fantastic.
Clean,
Fun.
very fun until the last 6 laps.
It's,
Then I
it's
killed DT.
always until the last 5 or 6 laps. So it started off interesting with that nice wet qualifier.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Let's call it interesting.
There was a whole lot of pit stops there for some retuning of cars.
And a whole couple of wings for Red Bull less than the factory.
And fastest time in qualifying was 1:13 something.
113.1.
And then Big Fudge finishing this with a 106.629.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Big Fudge,
well
what
done,
happened there?
Fudge.
Why you wait so late?
You know, I've decided that I want to let everybody, participate, and then I thought I'll just shut up what I can actually do the last.
So
couple of
the
laps.
9 seconds of penalties you got was also to give the rest of the guys some chance.
Exactly. I pull a 1.6. What's 9 seconds of penalties? Easy.
Yeah, for what's his name, Cooper, that's nothing. I think his was something like 18 or 21 seconds.
3 minutes. No, my tires are boxed a little earlier than I wanted to. So I thought, hold on, here's my opportunity to slam in the pits before Rez and Ori came past me, which they did. But of course, Rez only had a 2-second penalty. I had to push to keep my spots.
Yeah.
And those last 5 laps, I was just gunning it.
Well done.
So Greever,
Well done. That's
nice
time. Yes, sir.
push there to you had the nice fight with D2. You had a nice fight with Brut.
Yeah.
Fighting your ranks from the bottom there.
Yeah.
Some good driving.
Yeah. Good fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was looking forward to the fight with D2, but he made sure he was staying fired. And then he decided to have a bit of a tumble there with Brood, and I missed out on the fight. But there's always the next one.
Yeah, it's all in the stream. You'll see the fight on the stream.
The first 15 laps, me and DT exchanged positions, I think 7 times.
Yep.
That's well done.
Constantly going the corners, cutting in. There's some good driving. But in general, some good clean driving.
It was a good race.
Very good. Very good race. So
We just a race lap 30. It never happened.
Race lap 1, turn 1.
30. Thank you very much.
So what's the track for next week?
Witten.
Silverstone.
D2's favorite track.
No. France is D2. Oh yeah, sorry, it's D2's favorite track. Sorry, Big Fudge is France.
Yeah. and the second race I did on the wheel. Tonight I did it on the controller. So maybe I should hang on the controller a little bit.
Nice. Brit, what's your favorite track?
Austria, the one we just drove.
Well, of course. Greever, of course, everybody knows that's Monaco. The track everybody loves to hate.
Obvious.
No!
I'll say, Monaco is my second favorite.
Yeah.
Everybody dreaded Monaco, and then I think we only had 3 DNFs in Monaco. We've had other races where we had like 6 DNFs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not too bad.
Any race that I finish, I consider my favorite track.
All of them.
So far, I've started all and finished all. I'm living the dream, boys. Living the dream.
So that's it then, guys. Thank you very much.
That was fun, guys.
We'll see everybody again next week.
Yeah, well done on the fastest track.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Cheers,
Silverstone.
everyone.
Cheers, bud.
Thanks. Cheers.
Just yes.